Hello and welcome to my presentation of characteristics of good information. Thank you. Welcome to JCD News with me, Connor Flanagan. Well, today we shall be talking about characteristics of good information, and these topics will consist of valid, reliable, timely, fit for purpose, and the right level of detail, as well as accessible, cost-effective, sufficiently accurate, relevant, confident source, and also understandable. Valid information is basically information that is correct and can be used for the purpose that it is needed, and this information is preferably unbiased, and it has to have a huge trust behind it. So, for example, it could be supplied to you by a governing body, or maybe financial information such as tax rate supplied to companies by the government tax office.
Here's this year's target grades.
Jimmy has a B. I'll give him a D. Little swine. Timmy has a C. Let's give him an A. He's a nice kid.
Timely is another good characteristic of good information. Two examples of timely could be a certain piece of work has to be done by a certain time, but another example could be if a company wants to analyse current profit and loss, then they need to access current sales figures and non-sales figures from 10 years ago. You can also say that information is available as when needed. For example, if a manager needed to check sales figures for today, timely information would be information that they could print from a cash register immediately at any time during the day.
Johnson, I need these done by Tuesday. Johnson!
Reliable information is information that you can rely on being as correct. It will be a form of valid and trusted information from a valid and trusted source. An example of reliable information will be information from your sales department that is supplied in financial departments on the sales figures for last month. As it comes from an international information source, it is reliable and it can be trusted.
Go to D5. Okay. D5. Nobody's here.
Cost-effective information is basically where if it's worth putting the time, effort and money in, then it is cost effective if you're going to get a positive result, preferably in business terms where they would make profit. But if it's a loss, that is not very cost effective.
Finally discovered my sexy scared of 7. 7, 8, 9.
Accessible information is information that can be stored away and be easily accessed at any time. If we refer back to the example of looking at sales figures on a cash register at any time during of the day, having the feature of printing out current sales from the cash register means that the information is accessible.
Excuse me?
Yes?
I transferred Mr. Johnson's files last night. You should have them on the hospital K drive.
Okay, I'll look that up now.
Okay.
I need a password. Fit-for-purpose information is information that is relevant to what you need it for. For example, if you're opening up a business in Liverpool, then it would be advisable to look at the population within a certain area besides where you wanted to open up the business. Looking at other information that could be irrelevant is not really classed as fit-for-purpose information. Relevant information is information that is directly related to what your business needs. If the business was looking to cut costs, they might have to look at their electricity bill to try and see where they could save money.
Human Siri.
I don't know if you can help me. I'm looking for the sign fabs. I've been told they're around here somewhere.
The weather for you today in your local area will be sunny. Understandable information is one of the easiest ways of communicating in today's society, whether that could be in business terms, scientific terms, or just our everyday language. A perfectly good example could be if you were talking to a scientist and you were less experienced, they would not use scientific words, so that way you can understand it a bit better.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you feeling today?
Ik ben ziemlich good.
Pardon?
Ik ben ziemlich good.
I'm sorry, do you know any English?
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Accurate information. An example of this could be if the speedometer in a car was 20 miles an hour off, and then this could lead to results of breaking the law. Therefore, that is inaccurate information because the driver is completely unaware of this.
Hello. Right, I can't stay long because I've got another patient waiting, but...
A heart surgery patient.
Oh,
Take
yeah.
his heart.
You've got to take his heart out and he needs a new transplant. So do it as quick as you can and be home for dinner.
Oh, it's not there.
Information gathered from a confident source is basically obtaining information for a specific purpose, and the information must be reliable and trustworthy. If the information, for example, of the population of China, then using Wikipedia may not be seen as 100% reliable. But therefore then, if you look at another website and get their results as well, if their results match, then therefore it can be known as a confident source. But if it doesn't match, then it is not 100% confident.
Excuse me, I've got a terrible bruise on my arm. Can you help me?
Yeah, let me just... What'd you say the symptoms were?
The redness, very sore, can't move it.
Ah, yes. We're going to have to give you heart surgery. Says there on Wikipedia.
If someone requests information from you and not having the correct level of detail, that's kind of like a catastrophe. For example, if a manager wants a summary of sales figures for the last 6 months, then the information has to be at the right level of detail to show overall sales figures for each month and a grand total added together.
Dr. Coleman, I think I broke my back.
What are your symptoms?
Well, it's sore.
Yeah, we'll get you in an X-ray right away.
Thank you.
This has been JCD News with me, Connor Flanagan. And we'd also like to thank Joseph Brown and Dylan Coleman for helping. Thank you for watching, and good night. Bye.
Hey, you ready?
Human Siri.
I was wondering if you could tell where the sign tabs are. I know they're around here somewhere.
The weather today shall be sunny in your local area.
So, this person's got severe heart disease. You're going to have to operate.
Take his heart out.
Okay, I'll leave you to it then.
Connor!
Would you?
Are you recording? Oh God.
Human Siri.
Why? Because it hurts.
No, what are your symptoms? My back bed's that way.
Yeah, no. Are you recording? Seriously?